You know that feeling, right? When a conversation just completely goes off the rails? I mean, you walk in with the best intentions, you're trying to be friendly, but somehow you walk away feeling totally misunderstood, maybe even frustrated, like you were speaking a completely different language. It's a feeling we've all had, for sure. And, it's not about bad intentions. The real reason this happens is this hidden layer in our conversations that we almost never see. So, what is it?
Yeah, linguist Deborah Tannen just nails this feeling. She says, you meet someone, you try to be friendly, but everything goes wrong. It's that totally baffling, super frustrating moment where your attempts to connect just falls flat. And then you're left replaying it in your head thinking, what on earth just happened?
And that really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, when there's no bad blood, when everybody is actually trying to get along, why do we still end up in these communication train wrecks? It feels completely irrational, and honestly, it can drive you nuts. So, here's the diagnosis. The answer isn't that you're crazy or that the other person is just being difficult. The problem isn't the people, it's the process. And that process, that hidden force, it has a name. It's what we call your conversational style. You can think of it like your own personal communication fingerprint. It's this whole set of unconscious habits, things like pacing, tone, how direct or indirect you are, that we all pick up from our family, our culture, just growing up. And here's the thing. When two different styles meet, even when everyone means well, sparks can fly for all the wrong reasons. Okay, to really see this in action, let's look at a powerful real-life example from Tannen herself. It all started with what seems like a super simple question to her husband about visiting her sister. She just asked what he wanted to do, and his response was, well, an explosion of frustration that left her feeling completely baffled. So here's exactly where the breakdown happened. You see, for her, when she asked, do you want to go? She was asking a literal question. She just wanted to know his preference and was happy to do whatever he wanted. But his conversational style, totally different. He operated on the assumption that people hint at what they want. So he heard her question not as a question, but as a statement, I want to go. Then when she followed up with, are you sure? He thought she was changing her mind and getting annoyed with him. Total misfire. And this just perfectly illustrates the core problem, doesn't it? The issue wasn't a lack of honesty. It wasn't a lack of goodwill. In fact, both of them were trying to be nice and accommodate the other person. But their styles were so different, they were like two ships passing in the night, sending out signals that were completely misinterpreted. And that leads to a really crucial point. Just being honest isn't always enough. Okay, so if it's not about honesty, what's really going on under the hood here? Like, why do these different styles even exist in the first place? Well, it all boils down to two fundamental and often conflicting human needs that we're all constantly trying to balance. Think about it. Every single time we talk to someone, we're doing this delicate balancing act. On one side, we have this deep need for involvement, to feel connected, to be part of the group. But on the other side, we have an equally strong need for independence, to protect our freedom and not feel like people are imposing on us. There's this fantastic metaphor that explains this perfectly. It's called Schopenhauer's porcupines. Imagine a bunch of porcupines in the cold. They need to huddle together for warmth, right? But if they get too close, ouch, their quills prick each other, so they have to pull away. But then, of course, they get cold again. And really, our entire social life is just like that dance, this constant, ongoing adjustment between closeness and distance. So, how does this whole tension thing actually play out in real life? Well, your personal conversational style is basically shaped by which of these two needs you tend to lean towards. For example, if you're someone who really prioritizes involvement, a lack of questions from someone else might feel like, wow, they just don't care about me. But if you're someone who prioritizes independence, a whole bunch of questions can feel like an interrogation, right? Like someone's trying to control you. It's the exact same action, but it leads to two completely opposite interpretations. And it's all because of style. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now, because it's a question we've all screamed in our heads, or maybe even out loud. For the love of, why don't people just say what they mean, right? I mean, if being direct would solve all this, why are we all so busy hinting and guessing all the time? Well, it turns out that being indirect actually has a couple of huge psychological payoffs. First step is rapport. You know that incredible feeling when a friend just gets you without you having to spell everything out? That connection is powerful. And second, there's self-defense. If you kind of float an idea out there indirectly and it doesn't go over well, you can always backpedal.
It gives you plausible deniability. It's like a conversational safety net.
But, there's an even bigger reason. The whole idea that we could ever be perfectly 100% direct, it's just a myth. It's not actually possible. Even if we all made a pact right now to be totally direct all the time, we literally couldn't do it. And here's why. First off, which truth are we even talking about? When you tell a friend about your day, you have to pick and choose details from thousands of moments. You can't say everything. Second, we all rely on unstated assumptions. If I say, hey, let's grab a coffee, I'm assuming you know what coffee is, what a cafe is, the whole deal. I can't possibly state every single assumption. And finally, let's be real. Total honesty can be just plain unkind. Being direct and telling someone, yikes, I don't like your new haircut, probably not the best move for the relationship. Okay, so if we can't be perfectly direct and our different styles are bound to clash, are we just doomed to a life of constant miscommunication? No, absolutely not. The solution isn't about changing who you are. It's about changing how you listen. The real breakthrough here isn't about learning some secret new way to talk. It's about developing a new way to listen. Just being aware, truly aware, that these different conversational styles exist, that is the single most powerful tool you can have. It lets you completely reframe the problem. So what does this new approach look like in practice? Well, first, just pause and remind yourself that what you heard them say might not be what they meant. Your interpretation isn't the only one out there. Second, and this is a big one, stop looking for who to blame. A miscommunication isn't a sign that something is wrong with you or them or the relationship. And third, you gotta recognize that these little misunderstandings are natural and totally normal. It's not a bug, it's a feature of human communication. And that idea right there, it can free you from the whole blame game. And that's really the big takeaway here. I want you to imagine the next time you're in one of those frustrating conversations. What if instead of jumping to, whose fault is this, you stopped and asked yourself, what conversational style might be at play here? It's a simple shift in perspective, but it can change absolutely everything. Because you stop seeing a conflict and you start seeing a fascinating puzzle that you can actually solve.